My name is Melissa B. Wiggins, and I was 30 years old when the man who had kept me waiting for years finally said the words that set me free. "Let's just be friends," Liam said, after years of leaning on me, crying to me, borrowing from me, and making me feel like the woman he would choose once he was done being disappointed by everyone else. So I ghosted him, dated his best friend, and let him watch me build the life he thought he could do better than. Now he texts me from his mother's couch, while I plan a future with the man who actually valued me. "Melissa, we need to talk." Liam's voice had that tone, the one he used whenever he was about to drop something heavy and still expected me to catch it. I had heard it before when he quit his job without savings and asked if I could help with rent. I heard it when he went back to his chaotic ex, then called me crying because she understood him in a way nobody else did. And now I was hearing it at our usual diner, the one where I had spent years listening to him mourn women who treated him like an option, while I sat across from him being loyal enough to become invisible. He stirred his coffee like it had personally betrayed him, avoiding my eyes. Classic Liam. He was handsome in that careless way that made people forgive too much too quickly. Dark hair falling into his face, sleeves pushed up, mouth already forming excuses before the confession even began. "So," he said finally, looking up, "I've been thinking, you're like my favorite person." There it was, the setup, the soft blanket before the knife. "But," he continued with a nervous laugh, "I don't think we're meant to be together, like romantically. You're my rock, Melissa. I don't want to lose that. Can't we just stay friends?" The waitress came by and refilled my coffee. I wondered if she had heard this speech before. Liam kept talking because silence made him uncomfortable, unless I was the one sitting inside it. He said it was timing, chemistry, confusion. He said I would always be special to him. He said he could not imagine life without me, which was Liam's favorite way of asking for all the benefits of love without the responsibility of choosing it. I took a sip of coffee, black, no sugar, bitter enough to match the truth he was finally serving. "Sure," I said, "if that's what you want." His shoulders relaxed immediately. He had expected tears, maybe bargaining, maybe the same kind of desperate speech he had given women who never answered his texts. But I had seen this coming. Honestly, I had paid for this coming. The dinners I covered when he was between checks, the nights I stayed awake hyping him up after bad dates, the years I spent as his emotional emergency contact while he chased women who made him feel alive by making him miserable. "Oh my God," he breathed. "Thank you for understanding. I was so scared you'd hate me. This is why you're my best friend." He reached across the table and squeezed my hand. I let him. Last free favor. Then his phone lit up. His whole face changed. "Oh," he said, trying and failing to hide a smile. "Jasmine just messaged." I knew Jasmine. Tall, beautiful, tattooed. The woman from the gym he had described last month as emotionally unavailable but kind of addictive. He leaned closer like we were conspirators, instead of a woman being quietly dismissed and the man already replacing her. "She's finally single," he whispered. "Wish me luck." I raised my coffee cup. Luck. He left soon after, typing before he even reached the door, already forgetting the woman he had just asked to remain useful. The waitress slid the check toward me like always. I paid it like always. But as I walked out into the cold night air, I made 2 notes in my phone. First, cancel Liam's emergency key. Second, text Julian about hiking this weekend. Julian was Liam's best friend, the one with warm eyes and a habit of noticing too much. At a party the month before, he had hugged me goodbye and whispered, "You deserve better." right before Liam pulled him away to complain about Jasmine. For the first time that night, I smiled. Funny thing about just friends, you can replace them. The first test came at 2:47 a.m. on a Tuesday. My phone buzzed against the nightstand, Liam's name flashing like a drunk distress flare. I watched it ring until it died. A voicemail appeared seconds later. Melissa, I'm at Pulse downtown and my car just got declined. Jasmine was supposed to drive me, but she bailed. Can you come get me? I deleted it before the sentence finished. 4 hours later, another message lit up my screen. Seriously? I could have been stranded. I waited until my coffee finished brewing before replying. Uber exists. 3 dots appeared, vanished, appeared again, then nothing. I imagined him sitting somewhere under fluorescent lights, wearing last night's confidence badly, realizing his emotional emergency hotline had finally disconnected. Julian found the whole thing hilarious when he came over that afternoon. He kicked off his shoes, dropped onto my couch, and said, "You're really committing to this whole not being his doormat thing, huh?" I tossed my phone beside him. Turns out best friend was just code for 24-hour emotional support. Julian grinned. Subscription canceled. It should have felt strange, spending time with Liam's best friend so soon after Liam's little diner speech, but Julian never made it feel like betrayal. He made it feel like oxygen. He remembered things, my coffee order, the trail I wanted to hike, the fact that I hated being interrupted when I was telling a story. Being around him was dangerously easy. Liam lasted 11 days before trying again. Hey, can you help me move this weekend? You're always good at organizing stuff. He added a smiley face, like cuteness could resurrect old obligations. I was flipping pancakes when I replied, busy. He answered immediately. Doing what? I typed, not lifting your boxes. Julian nearly choked on his mimosa when I showed him. Who are you? He gasped, wiping orange juice from his chin. I smiled because, honestly, I was starting to wonder the same thing. Maybe this was who I had always been, beneath the years of being convenient. Then the universe served Liam's karma in 3 neat acts. First came the Instagram stories. Liam and Jasmine at brunch, her tattooed fingers wrapped around his wrist, his caption pretending casual while screaming desperate. Then came the group chat murmurs about Jasmine being hard to pin down. Finally, at 3:08 a.m., a voicemail arrived while Julian and I were watching a terrible horror movie. She ghosted me after I paid her studio deposit, Liam slurred. $2,000, Melissa. $2,000. I did not respond. I only screenshotted it to Julian with the caption, and there it is. The real turning point came at Sarah's birthday party. Liam cornered me near the kitchen, his pupils bright from whatever he had been drinking. You've been distant, he said, fingers catching my sleeve. I miss us. I looked across the room at Julian, who was laughing with someone by the snack table, sleeves rolled up, warm and unbothered. We're still friends, I said, exactly like you wanted. Liam followed my gaze and his face changed. Not sadness, possession. Why are you always with him now? The petty part of me wanted to list every reason. Because Julian did not treat my time like public property. Because when he touched me, it did not feel like he was checking whether I was still available. Because he made me feel chosen before anything was official. Instead, I shrugged. He's fun. Liam's drink trembled slightly. You're being weird. I stepped around him. Not weird, just not yours anymore. Later, Julian fell asleep against my shoulder in the Uber, his jacket warm across my lap, and I did not move him. The next morning, I texted Liam, FYI, Julian left his hoodie here. I'll give it back when he stays over Friday. 3 typing bubbles appeared, disappeared, reappeared, then vanished for good. Perfect. The first time Liam truly understood was when his key no longer worked. I watched through the peephole at 1:17 a.m. as he jiggled the lock, dress shoes in one hand, hair damp from rain, mascara smudged confidence replaced by panic. "Melissa," he whisper-shouted, "open up! It's freezing!" I waited until he knocked harder before opening the door with the chain still on. "Jasmine stood me up," he said, trying to peer past me. "Can I crash here? Just tonight?" Behind me, Julian's sleepy voice drifted from the bedroom. "Babe, everything okay?" Liam's face folded into shock, betrayal, and sudden understanding. "Is that Julian?" I nodded. "Yeah, like I told you." He shoved lightly against the chain. "You're seriously with my best friend now?" I looked at him through the gap. "Funny, I thought I was your best friend, right up until you needed a ride home from another woman's bed." Then I closed the door before the excuses could start. The real fireworks came 3 days later on Instagram. Julian posted a photo of us at brunch, his arm around my shoulders, me wearing the silver necklace he had bought because he said it matched the way I smiled when I was not pretending to be fine. Liam commented within minutes, "Guess loyalty means nothing when your backup plan upgrades." Julian did not delete it. He screenshotted it, posted it to his story, and wrote, "Someone's salty because his safety net found a main character." By midnight, half our mutual friends had seen it. By morning, Liam had blocked us both. I thought that would be the end. It was not. Men like Liam do not miss you quietly. They haunt the places where they used to control you. The final nail of that season came at Kyle's wedding. Liam showed up alone, jaw tight, eyes tracking Julian and me all night. He watched Julian spin me on the dance floor. He watched him feed me cake from his fork. He watched us laugh with the easy comfort of two people who were not performing for anyone. Near the valet stand, Liam intercepted me, rain beginning to mist through the warm evening air. "You were supposed to wait for me," he whispered. Julian squeezed my hand, then stepped ahead to give me space, because unlike Liam, he understood the difference between support and possession. I looked at Liam, really looked at him, at the desperate grip on his phone, the hollows under his eyes, the man who had treated love like a waiting room. "I did wait," I said. "Turns out better things were coming." Then I got into the car beside Julian and did not check the rearview mirror. The drunk text started 3 weeks later. "Remember when you drove 2 hours to pick me up when my car broke down?" Then, "Jasmine never remembered how I take my coffee." Then, "Do you still have that sweatshirt I left at your place?" I deleted them all. 2 days later, his mother called from a number I did not recognize. I let it go to voicemail. "Melissa, honey, he's not eating. He quit his job. He found your old photo in a drawer and just broke down. Please talk to him." I deleted that too while Julian was tying his shoes for dinner. "Ready?" he asked. I nodded, and we went out like two people who had finally supposed scheduling our lives around someone else's collapse. Liam ambushed me at Whole Foods the next week, appearing in the cereal aisle with a basket that held 1 banana and too much regret. "Melissa, we need to talk." I kept walking. "No, we don't." He followed me toward the dairy section. "You owe me that much." I stopped so suddenly he almost ran into me. "I owe you?" I laughed, and it came out raw. "I paid your bills when you quit your job to find yourself. I listened to you cry over every woman who treated you badly. I waited while you called me your rock and chose everyone else." His face crumpled. "Then why did you stop?" The answer was simple. Because Julian remembered my birthday without a reminder. Because he paid his half without being asked.
because when he said he loved me, it did not sound like a hostage negotiation. But Liam would never understand that. So I picked up the oat milk and said, "Because you taught me my worth."
The last time I saw him in person, it was raining hard. He stood outside my building at 11 at night, soaked through, hair plastered to his forehead, looking like the storm had finally found its owner. "Please," he said when I stepped toward the lobby door, "you can't throw away 5 years." I gently peeled his fingers off my sleeve. "You did that when you said just friends." The elevator opened and Julian stood there holding 2 mugs of hot cocoa. Liam stared at him, then at me. "You live together now?" Julian leaned against the doorway. 6 months next week." I watched the math hit Liam like a physical blow. All those texts, all those fake accidents, all those moments he thought I was still emotionally parked outside his life. Julian and I had been building something real. Liam whispered, "You replaced me." I shook my head. "No, I upgraded." The elevator doors closed on his face, and for the first time, I did not feel cruel. I felt free. Months later, Julian found Liam's wedding invitation in the mail. He was marrying a woman named Chloe, some finance consultant he had known for 5 months. Julian waved the card at me. "Wanna RSVP?" I did not look up from seasoning chicken. "No." He grinned and tossed it in the trash. That night, while we lay tangled in sheets that smelled like our life, my phone buzzed with one final message from a number I should have blocked years earlier. "I just wanted you to know I'm happy." Julian rolled his eyes. Reply K. But I did better. I deleted the thread, turned off my phone, and kissed the man who never made me beg for scraps of affection. Some silences are sweeter than revenge.